Caribbean countries are highly exposed to external shocks. The high cost of recovery and reconstruction from natural hazards leads to increased fiscal pressures and increased sovereign debt levels. And yet fiscal responses to disasters are often ad hoc, uncoordinated, and sometimes inefficient. The World Bank team has developed a disaster resilient and responsive public financial management review that seeks to help countries strengthen their fiscal responses to disasters. We now have a better understanding of which public financial management policies, practices, and procedures are critical for a government's capability to respond more efficiently and effectively to natural disasters. For example, we know that planning and budgeting processes need to support timely, efficient, and responsible use of funds for ex-ante disaster risk management, as well as ex-post response and recovery. The management of public resources in response to disasters needs to ensure that stakeholders are accountable for the way they use public resources and exercise authority. Public bodies should be able to track and report on the uses of disaster-related resources. Timely disaster response often requires the procurement of goods and services through expedited procedures. Public assets in the region, and particular infrastructure assets, are not always systematically monitored and tracked and are often financially underprotected, making it difficult to quickly carry out accurate post-disaster needs assessments or to replace destroyed assets.
The Caribbean is a disaster-prone region experiencing such events in varying magnitudes and at different frequencies. The post-disaster PFM assessments were conducted in the beneficiary countries to undertake a quick and robust overview of the PFM systems. The assessment highlighted several strengths and weaknesses of the PFM systems in these countries. Technical assistance has been provided to assist in a number of initiatives to improve the response of the PFM systems. In Jamaica, assistance was given to complete a set of emergency budget execution guidelines, and Grenada benefited from the development of an integrated public investment and asset management framework.
Natural disasters have had very serious impacts on St. Lucia's economy, especially given the limited resources that were available to respond effectively. For the Department of Finance in St. Lucia, opportunities to strengthen accountability is very important. The post-disaster public financial management review provided the opportunity to address both objectives. It allowed St. Lucia to identify the policies, practices, and procedures that needed to be strengthened to improve our capacity to respond more efficiently and effectively to disasters. Under the Canada Caribbean Resilience Facility, St. Lucia has prioritized the strengthening of business continuity planning. The Departments of Finance, Infrastructure, and the Office of the Director of Audit have commenced with conducting business impact assessments of the critical business functions.
Another important thing we learned is that disasters disproportionately impact different segments of the population. So understanding the differential needs of men and women, youth and elderly, people with disabilities is really key to providing equitable public services, but also for responding and recovering from disasters effectively and sustainably. While some countries in the region have already taken initial steps towards integrating gender in public financial management to close gender gaps, there is significant potential for governments in the region to strengthen the integration of gender in the way they design, but also implement budget policies.
We have since conducted training for over 30 public service officers from St. Vincent and St. Lucia on the importance of gender-responsive budgeting, and we have developed a gender-responsive budget circular for St. Lucia.
We will continue providing support to governments and strengthening the resilience of their PFM systems to natural hazards. Leveraging the CRF's flexible approach to changing needs, the team's been able to work closely and effectively with governments to identify genuine opportunities for reforms to regulations, policies, and systems. Thank you very much for your partnership in this effort.